So now that we've worked out the truths of the world, we have to get our character set up. And our character is an interesting thing. This is the character sheet. And I think this is really, really cool. The stats are so simple and yet so evocative. Your stats are edge, heart, iron, shadow, and wits. And they're fairly self-explanatory. Edge is your speed, your dexterity, your nimbleness, your skill with ranged weapons. Heart is your courage, your toughness in terms of health, your empathy, and your ability to form bonds with other people. Your iron, that is your physical strength, your might, your intimidation, and how good you are in melee combat. Your shadow is your deceptiveness, your sneakiness, how you to move and speak with precision and stealth. And then your wits is your common sense, your intelligence, your observational skills, and so it all feeds together into each other like that, which I think is really, really cool. Let's make this a bit bigger if we can. So as you can see, I've already set up the stats how I want them for this character. Like I said, I had the idea for this character in mind, and like I said, I think they are descended from the Skald, and they are one of the Iron Wardens that patrols the land. And as such, they've got to be good at fighting. You don't get to be a warden if you aren't good at fighting. So that's where the 3 iron comes in. And when you're distributing your stats, you get to put a 3 in one of your stats. That's what you're really good at. Then you get to put in 2 2s. And I've done that for heart and wits because I want them to be smart and I want them to be empathetic. I don't want them to be cold and distant. I want them to actually be able to forge some bonds with people. And that's important. We'll get to that in a moment. And then you get 2 1s to put in the remaining slots, and I put that into edge and shadow because I don't think they're particularly nimble and I don't think they're particularly subtle. Because this is how I envision the Skald, right? I sort of think of them as like the Norn from Guild Wars 2. If you've never played Guild Wars 2, the Norn are like these 9-foot werebears, essentially. And I don't think in this case the Skald are werebears or 9 feet tall, but I do think they are larger than normal people. I think they probably range from about 7 to 8 feet tall at most. Maybe the biggest Skald ever recorded was like 9 feet tall, but on average they're around 7.5 feet. So I would think that our character, if they're descended from the Skald, would probably share some of those genes, so they're probably pretty big. They're probably nearly hitting up there towards 7 feet themselves, and that's why they got a lot of iron, because they're big and tough. And so there's a bunch of other things here on the sheet. There's your momentum on this side, which you accumulate and burn to help with some of your moves. There's your health, there's your spirit, there's your supply, which is basically your hit points, your mental hit points in a way, and the supplies you take on your journey. And then you've got the vows and bonds. Now, bonds are how you track your sort of your life experience in a way. The more bonds you form by the end of your character's life, when they eventually retire, the more likely they are to have a happy ending. It's just the way of things. If you don't want to die alone, you got to form as many bonds as possible, and you form bonds, among doing other things, by completing vows. Now you swear on iron to people, and they will beholden you to a promise. But if you complete that promise, if you fulfill your vow to them, you may be able to form a bond. More importantly, by completing a vow, you get experience points. And those experience points can be spent on assets to inform your character's abilities. And that's what we're going to pick next. We're going to be picking our character's assets. So if we go over here, Now the assets come in the form of these really neat cards, and they actually have them here in the Roll20 character sheet, which is really cool. So assets are divided into 4 categories. There's companions, paths, combat talents, and rituals. Now I have some ideas for what I want for this character, but first and foremost is a combat talent called Sunderer. This basically means that our character is an axe specialist. They get bonuses for when they wield an axe. And I think they wield an axe because that is part of their Skald heritage. The axe was sort of like the traditional Skald weapon, I think. Maybe the axe that they wield has been passed down through their family from the days when they were of the Skald. And you may be wondering, like, why would a Skald be living in the Ironlands? Well, just because the Skald were raiders and invaders doesn't mean all of them were bad. Maybe there were some sympathizers that joined the Ironlanders when they sailed across the sea. I don't know. But the fact is, our character is one of them, or is descended from them anyway. So let's crack out a journal here, and we can start recording some of this. So we don't have a name. Actually, we don't have a name for the character yet. We don't even know if this character is male or female yet. Okay, we'll come back to that. Hang on. Let's come back to that. Now, the cool thing about Ironsworn, because you play it solo, you need things to basically act in place of being a dungeon master, or a game master if you prefer. And that's where these oracle tables come in. You basically roll randomly on the oracle tables, and they can tell you things. And one of those things are name generators. So we've got the Ironlander names here. There's like 200 of them. So let's roll for our character name, and from there we'll determine, are they male, female, neither, and we'll see what happens. So let's give it a roll. We'll roll on the oracle. Come here in the chat. Tamara. Well, that sounds like a lady to me. So let's put that in there. Let's record that. The character is Tamara of the Iron Wardens. Okay, so we've got Tamara. Tamara is descended from the Skald that drove the Ironlanders out of their original homeland. Let's say her grandmother was a Skald axe maiden and passed down her ancestral weapon through the family to her. Okay, so that gives us a basic thing so far, and we'll add in there to throw off the stigma of her heritage. Tamara joined the Iron Wardens to prove that she was a valuable asset to her community and to help protect her people. So because Tamara's got a heart score of 2, she is a little more sympathetic than most people and empathetic, so she wants to help people. That's why she became a warden. She wants to help people. So I think that's a good start to her. We'll save that for now. So now we have her name. Let's put her in here. Tamara. There we go. Okay, so what else do we know about Tamara? Well, next we have to learn, where does she come from? because whatever her other assets are going to be, we always start off with 3 assets when you begin play. And so far we've only got 1. And I have some other ideas for what our other assets might be. But to determine what those are going to be, I want to find out where Tamara is from. And that's where the map is going to come into play a little bit. So we've got the map here, and we've got oracles as well. And one of the oracles talks about region. And these are the 9 major regions of the Ironlands. So there's the Barrier Islands down here, there's the Ragged Coast, there's the Deep Wilds, there's the Flooded Lands, the Havens, the Hinterlands, Tempest Hills, the Veiled Mountains, and the Shattered Wastes. And Tamara's got to be from one of these places. But I think there are 2 places that she can't be from. One of them is the Shattered Wastes, because that's basically like Game of Thrones, North of the Wall kind of thing. That's like the far north. Nothing lives up there. Well, at least nothing that has lived before. So I don't think she's from there, and she can't be from the Deep Wilds, because the Deep Wilds are where the elves live. The elves lay claim to the Deep Wilds, so humans don't go there if they can help it. Maybe there's a human settlement there, but I want to think that that's a very special place that maybe we'll visit someday, but Tamara's not from there, I don't think. So I'm going to roll the die, and I'm going to see what comes up. If the Deep Wilds or the Shattered Waste comes up, then we are going to ignore them and roll again. So let's roll for region. The Ragged Coast. Ah, now that's interesting. So basically, Tamara lives somewhere along this coastline. And that's quite a coastline. She could be anywhere along there. But if she wants to head inland, she probably has to head through the Deep Wilds for the most part. And that could be very interesting. But more importantly, because she lives along the coast, she probably knows how to handle a boat. So let's add another asset here. We're going to go to path this time, and we are going to select waterborne, because she knows how to handle a boat. She lives on the coastline. Because you don't travel through the Deep Wilds, you probably don't want to head inland. If you want to get to other places, you probably take a boat up and down the coast. And Tamara knows how to do that. So I think that's her path, is going to be waterborne. Now we got to pick one more asset for her. And I have some ideas. So because iron is a rare commodity here, I don't think a lot of people wear armor. So if you wear armor, it's very special. So there is one here, a combat talent called Ironclad, which is here, over there. That's for people wearing armor, and I don't think Tamara's got that, because if you want a set of iron armor, that's a hefty price. You're not going to find that too easily. But I think in the interest of being an Iron Warden, because Tamara wields an axe, right? Tamara wields an axe, and that's her thing as a descendant of the Skald. But something's got to set her as an Iron Warden. Maybe that's her shield. So we're going to go for Shield Bearer as a combat talent as well. So the thing that marks an Iron Warden is their shield. That sets them apart. So let's put that on. Maybe we can put that under our world truths, I think. Let's edit that here. We'll put that under defense. So The Iron Wardens are distinguished by their iron bossed shields. The distinctive forging of the boss and the intricate designs painted on the shield are their symbols of office. Okay. So, this is Tamara of the Iron Wardens. She is a Sunderer, she is a Shield Bearer, and she is Waterborne. So those are her assets. So she's going to be pretty tough in a fight. And I need that. I need this character to be tough in a fight. I made a practice character a while back for another game, and I didn't give her any combat talents. Oh boy, that was an experience. But we'll get into that another time. So let's also put this in the journal here. Tamara lives along the ragged coast. A harsh waterlogged land formed of jagged cliffs and treacherous rocks running into deep fjords. There is constant paranoia from the deep wilds to the east and the unknown dangers of the deep to the west. Because there are sea monsters down there. You better believe there's sea monsters. Okay, so we know she lives on the Iron Coast, but where on the Iron Coast? This is another great oracle. Is a settlement name. So we can quickly whip up a settlement name here with a quick prefix and a suffix. I like this. I like this so much. This is so cool. So let's just roll and see, where does Tamara live? What is this place called? Roll it up. Mournfield. Oh, that is so emo. I love it. Okay, let's put that in there. Lives along the ragged coast. We'll put it in there. The settlement she calls home is known as Mournfield. Now, what kind of community is Mournfield? Let's find some descriptors of it here. Location descriptors. Let's roll a couple for it here. Put it over here. It is flooded. Naturally, it's on the coast, so naturally it would be flooded. Perfect. Let's roll another one. Exposed. So it's out in the open. This is not a very secretive community. It's very easy to access from the sea because it's flooded. And one more. Isolated. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. So the settlement she calls home is known as Mournfield. This small, isolated village, or circle, as they are known, is exposed to the elements and is often flooded by the rushing tides. This is brilliant. I love this. No wonder she's a waterborne. Even in her own home, she has to float. So that's great. I like that. Um, let's add a bit of details there. Why would it be called Mournfield? Is it because it's just that terrible to live there? It's like, oh yeah, I kind of like that. It got its name because if you went to live there, people might as well start mourning your passing because you're probably never coming back. Okay, so I think this also feeds into Tamara's need to help people, because Mournfield is probably a terrible place. So she wants to help people, but she's stuck in this isolated little town on the edge of the coastline, and it's driving her nuts. She wants to get out of there. Tamara wants to escape from Mournfield and let's say perform a greater duty to the people of the Ironlands as a whole, because she will never break the boundaries of her heritage and her isolation if she doesn't get out of there. So I think this is probably going to feed into Tamara's background goal. She wants to see all of the Ironlands. I think that's probably going to feed into her goal. Because one of the things we need as an Ironsworn is our background vow. And I think of Tamara as someone who wants to basically save the entire Ironlands from itself. She knows it's dangerous out there, but she's stuck here on the coast, and that's driving her crazy. She wants to get out there and save the Ironlands from itself. So how can we word this vow that it encompasses all that? Let's see. I think we can word that as wants to ensure the safety of all Ironlanders everywhere. Now, what that might entail, we don't know, but that is definitely going to be an epic goal. How do you save the entire Ironlands from itself? That's going to be a very long-term goal. So, now we have a background vow. Before we get to the inciting incident is what's going to kick everything off. The personal stakes that's going to get Tamara out of Mournfield and out into the world. Before we go there, we need to form some bonds. And bonds are basically the things that they're the people and the communities that she knows and relate to and have forged a connection with. So I've divided them up here. So the people and the communities. So under communities, I think Tamara will probably have a bond with Mournfield to start. So we're going to put Mournfield as the first community here. And what did we say? We said flooded, exposed, and isolated. And so just put there a cruddy little town on the ragged coast that Tamara calls home. That's all the detail we need for now, I think. We'll probably add more detail to this later, but we're just getting it there. And we're going to add a little asterisk here, which signifies that Tamara has a bond with that community. So we'll just pop in there and you can mark here. The progress tracks are very cool in this because you basically you progress through your quests by marking progress, and how much progress you mark depends on how epic it is, or the level of the threat, or the rank of the quest. And that's where these come in. And you'll see it as we go along, but you basically need 4 ticks in a box to mark it off. And I just realized that you can't actually see the drop-down menus on the recording when I do this, so I've just been waggling my mouse around like this, and you have no idea what I'm pointing at. So I'll just quickly show you here. These are the different symbols they show. So that's a full progress box, but we need more bonds if we're going to fill that up. So we have the bond with Mournfield, but I think we should start getting some NPCs in here as well. There's got to be some people that Tamara relates to, and I think the first person that she would relate to would probably be another Iron Warden. It's someone she served with, someone who is her friend on the battlefield, someone she can relate to and who fights side by side with her in this community. So let's roll up, using the oracles, let's roll up an NPC. So we will start with a name. The name will help us once again determine gender and stuff. So let's give this character a name, roll for it. Indira. Okay, let's put her in there with an asterisk because we are bonded. Indira. Okay. So, what traits does Indira have? I think this is another lady as well. But let's see what let's go to character descriptors and see what kind of person is she. She is armored. Ooh, okay. If she's armored, that probably means she's a higher rank than Tamara is. So armored. Formatting. Armored. Let's get another one. Friendly. That's good. Like that. Always nice to meet a friendly person. And one more. Active. Okay. So, Indira, armored, friendly, and active. So, a fellow Iron Warden and Tamara's superior. I think she's her superior because if she's wearing armor, then she's definitely earned her rank. So she'd be Tamara's superior, and so I think Tamara looks to her for guidance and considers her a close friend. Right, and she's active as well, so she's probably one of those people who are like, yes, Mournfield sucks, but it's our duty to be here, we might as well make the most of it, so let's get up and go, 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 go. But not in a drill sergeant kind of way. She wants to make it a fun experience for everyone. But she needs a goal as well. Let's see, what's her goal? Just so we've got something to flesh her out. What's her motivation? Defend a place. That is so perfect. Thank you, Dice. That is perfect. Indira wants nothing more than to make sure that Mournfield is safe and well defended. She is committed to her role as an Iron Warden. She wants to defend Mournfield. She wants nothing more out of life than to be the best guard captain she can be. And nothing wrong with that. That's pretty cool. I respect that. I think it's a good sort of clash of personality that Tamara's got the wanderlust and she wants to go out and see the world, and Indira is the kind of the home guard who wants to defend their home, but they still get on very well. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so that's one NPC, and now I'm thinking maybe for the other one, it should be a member of Tamara's family. I don't know who exactly though, because while she has had her great axe passed down to her from her grandmother, I don't know if her grandmother's still alive. She could have died already, but she might have siblings. She might have an uncle or an aunt. Her parents might be around somewhere. So I'm going to roll up another name. Let's see here. Let's go Ironlander names. We're going to roll up another name. And this person is called Elstan. 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 Okay. Who is Elstan? This could be... This sounds like maybe a brother? Maybe a brother or a cousin? I'm not sure. So, what's Elstan's deal? What's he like? Let's see here. What are some things to describe Elstan? He is cooperative. Okay, cooperative. He is experienced. And he is relaxed. Okay, so he's a chill dude. Elstan's that kind of guy. He's like, oh, you need some help? No problem. I know how to do that. Don't worry. We'll get it all sorted out. You don't have to worry. I got your back. That's cool. So he seems like a nice guy. So what does he do? What does Elstan do? Let's go to a roll. What does he do? He's a performer. Okay. A performer. A performer. Does he live in Mournfield? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't come from Mournfield. Yeah, maybe he lives somewhere else. But how would Tamara know? Has Tamara grown up in Mournfield? I don't know. Maybe when oh, okay. Yes. I know. Elstan lives in the town where Tamara grew up before she became an Iron Warden and got shipped off to Mournfield. She lived somewhere else, but she got assigned the terrible duty of being stuck in Mournfield. Okay, I like that. Okay, so he's a performer from Tamara's home circle. And what is Tamara's home circle? What's it called? Let's see. Let's roll up another quick settlement name here. What's this place called? Stone. Oh man, that can happen sometimes. I don't think that's going to work. Let's try a different one. Mourncrag. We've already got a Mourn. We've already got a place with Mourn to begin with. Okay, come on. Third time's the charm. Newmount. That's a bit bitter. I like that. Newmount. Let's stick with that. Yeah. So he probably is he related to Tamara? I'm not sure. Actually, there is something we can do for this. There is an oracle that we can consult. So let's say a 50-50 chance that he is related to Tamara. Let's give it a go. 50-50. Roll it. Okay, no, he's not related to her. But he probably knew her growing up. So let's say knew Tamara as she was growing up. Maybe and was her confidant. Confidant? Is that how I spell it? I don't know. Maybe confidant. When she needed to tell someone about her big plans for the future, and when she was feeling persecuted by people who were mistrusting of her Skuld heritage. Okay, so he was sort of like her crutch a little bit when she was growing up. You know how it is when you're experiencing hormones as a teenager, and kids are mean and everything sucks and you just need someone to talk to. That was Elstan. He was there for you. He would help you out. He's seen it all before. So I think Tamara really misses him. So she probably doesn't. The reason she doesn't have a bond with Newmount was because she doesn't have many good memories of living there. But Elstan was sort of like the one good thing that came out of Newmount for her. So I think that's why she has a bond with him. And what does he want? What is Elstan's goal? Let's see here. What's his goal? Protect a secret. Elstan has a secret that he told no one except maybe Tamara. And even then, never gave her all the details. And we don't really have to know what that secret is just yet. But if we ever come across Elstan, then we might have to know. Okay, but where? That's another thing. Where is Newmount? Let's see what region it was in. Just out of curiosity. Again, we're going to ignore Deep Wilds and Shattered Wastes because people don't live there. So where was it originally? In the Tempest Hills. Newmount. In the Tempest Hills. So if we look at the map, go away Grammarly. If we look at the map, let's save that, and there, and there. So if we look at the map, the Tempest Hills is here. So there are elements of the Ragged Coast not far from the Tempest Hills. So maybe Newmount is somewhere around here, and Mournfield is around here. We won't plonk them down just yet, but it's something to think about. So Newmount in the Tempest Hills over here, and Mournfield along the northern parts of the Ragged Coast. So it's quite a way to get from Mournfield to the Barrier Islands. Again, it's isolated, right? So that fits. I like that. Okay, so now we have our bonds. Let's add them here. Okay, so there's our 3 bonds. We'll mark them here like that. The asterisk indicates 3 ticks in there. Should probably reword this background about a little. We'll just say just like that. Ensure the safety of all Ironlanders everywhere. Cool. So now we're pretty much set, I think. We're almost done. So we've got our assets. got our 3 assets. We've got our bonds. We know our name. We know where we are. So now we just need an inciting incident. Something that is going to propel Tamara into the greater world. It's going to be how she can potentially break free from being warden in this crummy, isolated town on the coast. And I think we'll probably save that for next time. We'll leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger. We don't know what the inciting incident is yet. So, that was our session 0 for Ironsworn. We've created a character, we've established our world, and now all we need is the spark that's going to kick it off. We'll save that for the next video. Thank you everybody for watching. If you want to help support the channel, there's the like button, there's the subscribe button, there's the bell icon. You know what to do with those. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now.